And good evening, everyone. I'm Martina Arteni, and I work for the energy agency of Friuli, Venezia, Giulia, which is located in the northeast of Italy. And as Etienne has already introduced, we have been focusing our assessments on a ski resort located in our region. To start with, I would like to provide an overview of the local partnership that we collaborated with to collect data and also establish synergies, because as it was already mentioned before, in our region we do have an hydrogen valley that was set up a couple of years ago together with Slovenia and Croatia. So we are not part of that hydrogen valley, but we of course tried to establish as many synergies as we could with other local actors that are involved in the North Adriatic Hydrogen Valley. The other key actors are SECAP, which is the first cooperative-based energy company that was established in Friuli, Venezia, Giulia at the beginning of the 1900s. And they produce green energy for the valley, that is actually our pilot case, from hydro and PV plants. Then we also collaborated with PromoTurismoFVG Venezia Giulia, which is the regional body that is like managing and promoting all initiatives connected with tourism in our region, and is actually operating the ski resort that we will be talking about in my presentation. And then a couple of other local actors that were like key for exchanging experiences and knowledge are the University of Udine and Area Science Park, that are both working in the North Adriatic Hydrogen Valley as well. And of course it was us, the energy agency, that was coordinating the pilot. So where we are, as I said, we are located in the northeast of Friuli, Venezia, Giulia. The valley is called APE FVG Valley. And why did we choose this area? Because SECAP is located in Paluzza. You can see the image on the right side of the slide. And the ski resort is actually located in Monte Zoncolan. If you are into cycling, it probably rings a bell. Many tappe of Giro d'Italia ended there, actually. So, of course, there was a reason why we chose that pilot area. So, our aim was actually to explore the opportunities of developing a full-scale Alpine green hydrogen ecosystem. We wanted to decarbonize the ski resort, and of course we had to work with SECAP, because SECAP is actually supplying energy to the ski resort already. So eventually the final aim, the final goal would be to have the ski resort totally decarbonized and matching it with the current status of the valley, which is already running on green hydrogen produced and distributed by SECAP. So basically, we collected lots of data, and we did run some technical and economic assessment on the feasibility of our pilot case. We worked a lot with the local actors, and we actually, one of the I would say one of the key success stories of our pilot was that the local actors were actually supporting strongly the initiative. We assessed that we had a surplus of green energy produced by SECAP that could actually be employed in the production of hydrogen. And we also developed two scalable scenarios that actually started in small. Like we at first, we assessed the feasibility of a small-scale electrolysis system, and then we also assessed the feasibility for a bigger one. We also worked on the storage of hydrogen, and we had to come to terms with all the regulations that you need to be compliant with at European level. Now, I would like to point out some barriers that we had faced actually, and well, first of all, there's a technological barrier because we, of course, talked with companies one single company that is actually working on developing snow groomers that are actually powered by green hydrogen. But as a matter of fact, the technology readiness level is not mature yet. So these are only prototypes that cannot be found on the market yet. So this is, of course, the main barrier that we had to face. And then some other points that I would like to raise to your attention is that, of course, you have to come to terms with the seasonality of green hydrogen demand. Of course, the peak are in the winter season, but to match demand with production, you have to find other applications, other uses also in the summertime. And another thing, of course, we're talking about investments that are quite expensive here. And so if you want to put in place a whole supply chain based on green hydrogen, you need help, basically. So, of course, we couldn't find any investors that would put money in a business model that by now is still too weak to be reliable. So yeah, we did face different barriers, and the thing that was like maybe another thing that I would like to mention is that the same barriers that we found are actually the same barriers that Eleonora will talk about after my presentation. So we are on the same boat. A couple of key lessons that we would like to share with you. As I mentioned before, it's important to be flexible and start with a phased implementation. So as I said, start small and then eventually scale up gradually. You should also look for optimization of the use of the renewable surplus energy. So of course take into consideration the seasonal variations and be aware of the local constraints. The regulatory constraints are also an important factor that should be kept into consideration. And then another thing is that at the very beginning of our study, of our investigation, the idea was to convert the whole fleet of the snow groomers operating in the ski resort into green hydrogen powered ones. But after all our study, we eventually came to the conclusion that it's important to prioritize the most impactful applications. So at the end, our study, the conclusion of our study is that we would convert only one snow groomer into green hydrogen powered one, and we would also work on public mobility. So introducing 3 school buses powered on green hydrogen. So that also, different uses of hydrogen are taken into consideration. Yeah, so these are like the main key lessons that the main takeaways that we would like to share with you. And I would like now to give the floor to Eleonora. Yeah, thank you.